Hello, so this is the second video I'm recording to you, and in this video I'm going to go over part 1 of the nose. I will draw your attention to some details in part 1 of the nose, and I am going to ask you some questions. Okay, so in part 1 of the nose we have a story of the barber Ivan Yakovlevich and his wife Praskovya Osipovna. Ivan Yakovlevich wakes up in the morning, eats some bread, finds a nose in the bread, and recognizes the nose. His wife makes him take the nose out of the house. He goes out of the house and then drops the nose into the Neva River. Okay, so this is the plot of the story. Now let's go to details. I'm very interested in your interpretation of Ivan Yakovlevich's character. What role does he play in the story? And I am going to give you some details about him, and I want you to interpret his image. Okay, so first detail, he has a sign on his door which says "И кровь отворяют." When he sits down to have breakfast and takes bread, he взял в руки нож. Okay, when he goes out of the house, he's called Иван Яковлевич, человек почтенный во многих отношениях. But there are a couple more things that we learn about Ivan Yakovlevich. First, his hands smell. Вечно воняют руки. Second, he smells tobacco, понюхавши табаку. Okay, so anything else? And okay, well, this is it, right? So with all those images, and maybe you can find other images about Ivan Yakovlevich, maybe something that his wife says about him. So how do you interpret his figure? Who is he? Okay, so oh yeah, one more thing, he's piyanitsa, right? Okay, so now we have a complete image. Please interpret it. So a few more things in this part 1 that I want to you to interpret. First, I want you to look at his relationship with his wife. Who is in charge? So one of the interpretations of the nose is that about a story about battle between the sexes. You know, how women take control over the men and men's anxieties about that. So can you say something about, can you interpret Praskovya Osipovna's story? So in a sense, how women are the ones who shave, metaphorically, men, and who put the nose in the bread to begin with, right? What kind of interpretations can you suggest for Praskovya Osipovna? And also maybe it's something more general. So when he meets the policeman on the bridge there, and says, «Я вашу милость 2 раза в неделю или даже 3 готов брить без всякого прекословия». That is, he just wants the policeman to let him go and not to question him further about the nose. But the strange reply that this policeman gives: «Нет, приятель, это пустяки. Меня 3 цирюльника бреют, да и за большую честь почитают». Can you find further in the text who these 3 barbers are? 3 цирюльника. Okay. What else in this story, in this part 1? Can you find any cases where the whole story sort of becomes murky, fantastic, misty, doubling, sort of Petersburg limbo state? So if it's a dream, that's a limbo state, right? Sort of in between state. If it's doubling, this strange state. Can you find any examples in part 1 of the world looking different, right? Looking strange. I'll give you one. Okay, Иван Яковлевич был ни жив, ни мертв. Okay, so he's in sort of in between state. There's strange things happening. So can you find more proof that something is wrong with the world in part 1. Okay, so and obviously if you see something else in part 1 that you want to comment on, you can suggest, you can give me your readings, your impressions, your interpretations. Okay, so your second task is to give me answers, interpretive answers or interpretations about part 1, either in response to the questions that I just asked or something that I did not ask but you find interesting in part 1. Thank you. Have a good weekend.